coming up on Sports Night.
The Cats get into an instant classic against an unlikely opponent.
Women's soccer senior day is spoiled by Purdue.
And finally, the Nittany Lions give the Cats all they could take. Welcome back to Sports Night. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to have a great show because it's Sports Night right now.
Welcome on inside our cozy Sports Night studio. I'm Chris Burton.
And I'm Averill Seargar. Chris, do you know it's actually chocolate cupcake day today?
I did know that, Averill. I had one earlier. It was delicious.
Picks or it didn't happen, Chris. But you know what, Chris? National holidays, there's so many you just can't keep up. You got National Puppies Day, National Bathtub Car Racing Day, Mother's Day. What is that?
Averill, you should know that one. That's an important one.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I know that one.
You know, Averill, you know what day I always remember?
What's that, Chris?
Football Saturday. By all accounts, it had been a disappointing season for Northwestern football going into their matchup with Michigan State. But a 29-19 win over the Spartans put the Cats back in the conversation. They looked to continue rolling last weekend against a Nebraska team that hasn't won a game this season. A lot of fans wearing red at Ryan Field on Saturday. Second quarter, Cats down by 7. Thorson drops back, finds Flynn Nagel for the touchdown. I'll be saying Flynn's name a lot today. He had a huge game on Saturday. A bit later, Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez fumbles. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling. The scoop and the score. Touchdown, Ernest Brown. Cats by 7. Nebraska had no quit Saturday, though. That's Divine Ozigbo on the 1-yard rush. And Nebraska had all the momentum early in the second half. Maurice Washington is going to come around the edge for the score here, and the Cats are in a big hole in the fourth quarter, which gets bigger when Nebraska converts the 2-point try. Martinez again up the middle for the conversion, and Northwestern is down by 14 with 13 minutes to go. They were down, but they weren't out. Remember how I said Flynn Nagel would pop up again? Well, that's him on the 61-yard pass from Thorson, and the Cats start to roll just a little bit. Now, things looked bleaker. This field goal is good, and with only 5 minutes left, the Cats had to score 10 points. They got some help from Drew Luckenbaugh, the backup kicker, because of an injury to Charlie Kubander, and a J.J. Jefferson touchdown sends us to overtime. In overtime, Nebraska fumbles the snap. Martinez is running, Sandu Miller is gaining, and that ball is picked off by J.R. Pace. All Northwestern had to do was score, and they didn't get lucky. They got Luckenbaugh. In his first game, the sophomore delivers the game winner. What a story for the Wildcats. Joining me now to make some sense out.
Spartans last week, the Northwestern Wildcats were able to pull off another victory today and build on their efforts with a win against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 34-31 in overtime. Now, obviously, we've seen before, Northwestern is not the team you want to play in overtime, but it was a record day for Clayton Thorson and wide receiver Flynn Nagel. Thorson also set a career record for, in a single game, yards, completions, and attempts. So after today's win, the Wildcats will go on the road and play the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in New Jersey, and they'll go for their third win straight. Reporting for NNN, I'm Ben Boken.
Now to make some sense out of that craziness is the Daily Northwestern's Peter Warren. Peter, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Now, Peter, the Cats scored in the second half last Saturday, which isn't something we've seen much this year. What did they do right, and can they keep it up?
Well, one thing I think they did really well was get the ball into Clayton Thorson's hand. Clayton and Flynn Nagel did a really good job during the game, as Clayton really threw for over 400 yards, most ever in a game for him, threw over 64 pass attempts. I think getting the ball in his hand was key, especially with a running game that struggled recently. Also, penalties. Northwestern had only one penalty on the game. They currently have the least amount of penalties and penalty yards over the course of the season in the country, which it might seem small, but that stuff starts to really add up. And I think Northwestern will continue to do a great job going forward.
Now, Peter, you just mentioned it. Clayton Thorson and Flynn Nagel, obviously they have a connection. Nagel had 220 yards receiving Saturday. He's got 48 receptions for over 600 yards on the season. He's absolutely the Cats' best weapon. But is this connection as a focal point of the offense, is it sustainable?
I definitely think it is, and especially with the running attack struggling like it is. It's going to be really key to have Flynn Nagel be as successful as he's been the last few games. In half of the games this year, he's had over 10 receptions, and last week was obviously the masterpiece of a season so far. But with a running game that's really struggled to make waves, having him down in the slot and having him catch the quick passes will be key to keeping Thorson and the offense moving when going forward.
Peter, as we speak, Northwestern is first in the Big Ten West. Never thought I'd say it, but I know there's a lot of games to be played. How crazy is it to say we could see Northwestern in the Big Ten championship?
I don't think it's that crazy. I actually think Northwestern is in the driver's seat for this. Now, they're 3-1. Nebraska and Iowa are both 2-1. Or, excuse me, Wisconsin, they're both 2-1. The thing is, Northwestern has already played its toughest team on the schedule in Michigan. Wisconsin has to come to Northwestern in about a week's time, which will be a key game. But then Northwestern does have to go to Iowa. But Iowa still has their toughest game to go in Penn State next weekend at Penn State. Now, if we beat Wisconsin and then Iowa loses to Penn State, Northwestern will be in the driver's seat with even a loss to Iowa, could have them looking like they're heading to Indianapolis.
Peter, thanks again so much for coming on. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. If you want to check out Peter's work, which is always great, pick up a copy of the Daily Northwestern or go to dailynorthwestern.com. Peter, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Switching from football cleats to soccer boots, the number 25 ranked Northwestern women's soccer team played 2 tough games this past week against Big Ten conference rivals. Let's look how they did. After coming off a tough road trip, the Cats looked to get back on track in their first game against the Indiana Hoosiers at Morin Stadium. Early in the first, it seemed like the bad luck was here to stay. Hannah Nemeth connects with the header, Northwestern down early. Northwestern played from behind, but Brenna Lavra had other plans. She connects from a pass from Julietta Thron, slots it right past the keeper for the equalizer. Then in the second, Cats rode off momentum. A well-placed cross by Reagan Steigletter forces a Hoosiers error, and who's there to capitalize but Nia Harris? She blasts one into the top left. Cats win 2-1. The next game for the Cats was a truly special one against Purdue. It's everyone's favorite, Senior Day. It was a deserved moment before the game for the most winningest senior class in Northwestern women's soccer history. In the first half, Reagan Steigletter takes a corner and senior Hannah Davison connects, and it's just wide. Close opportunity for the Cats. Later in the first, the ball is floated in the air. Nia Harris gets her head to it, and it's going in until a Boilermaker clears it away, sending both teams in halftime scoreless. Later in the second, a long-range shot is easily stopped by Mackenzie Wood, and just before the end of the game, Wood floats one, Michelle Trineski hits it, but it just won't go. After the game, we caught up with senior Jenny Haskell, who spoke on what she'll miss most in her final season.
I think we talk a lot about this team, this program. I didn't grow up with any sisters, and right now I have 28 of them. We play for each other day in and day out, and I'm going to miss having that every single day.
Jenny and the Cats stayed home for their next game against Illinois. The game at Martin Stadium is part of their October Think Pink campaign, where fans can purchase discounted tickets by wearing pink to the game to promote breast cancer awareness.
After the break, we have a very special guest in studio. You're not going to want to miss this. Don't go anywhere.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in
I raced
every
through that.
way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for they draw sweet victories, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Abriel, I gotta say, I am so excited for you to talk to the person on your right.
Well, you know what, Chris? It definitely is a luxury. It's almost like a palace.
All right, buddy. Let me do field hockey.
Okay.
There was no rest for Northwestern field hockey this week. After losing to Ohio State a week ago, the 15th ranked Cats had to face Rutgers and Penn State, both top 15 teams. Chilly afternoon at Lakeside Field as the Cats take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers would take the advantage in the 8th minute when midfielder Linda Van Schaik pokes this one out of a scrum in the middle of a goal. 0-1, front of the goal, 1-0 Rutgers. Still early in the first half, midfielder Dabney Chudis scores on this effort. Dabney, please forgive me for that pronunciation. Now, right before halftime, Ava Von Ott dribbles left, she shoots, she scores, and the Cats trail by just 1 goal. But the second half wasn't kind to the home team. Cats had 5 penalty corners in the half, but failed to score on all of them, including this one, as the shot from Maren Zaidel is waved off due to penalty. Cats lose 2-1. 2 days later, they would try to turn things around against 6th-ranked Penn State. Early in the first half, Lakenberry with the steal has a chance, blocked by the Penn State keeper, but teamwork makes the dream work. Sar DeBry follows with a beautiful top corner shot. The rest of the half was pretty much all Penn State. Cats here block 1, they block 2, but they can't block 3. That's forward Mary Nell Smith for the Lions. Cats in a hole at halftime. Second half looking better for the Cats. Puck Patena shoots one past the keeper there, but time was running out and the Cats came up just short. They would get one more on the shot from Charlotte Viziri, but they fell to Penn State 4-3.
Another team looking to make the most of their shots is the Northwestern men's soccer team. They took on Rutgers and UIC this past week and looked to get on the winning side after 2 consecutive ties. Cats played their first game of the week away from home against Rutgers. Not a lot of opportunities for either team in the first half, not counting this ambitious attempt by Richie Bennett that just sails wide. There would be more action in the second half though. Here is Rutgers' Brendan Wall. He's looking, tries his luck. Beautiful place shot just under the crossbar. Cats down 1. Tommy Katsianis gets on the ball, a beautiful move to get over the defender, lays it perfectly for Matt Motorwell with the equalizer. And finally, a Rutgers cross leads to a penalty just under a minute, and it's a heartbreaker. Jordan Hall ends the game. Cats lose 2-1. The Wildcats then went to the city on Tuesday night to go against the Flames of UIC. The Cats got off to an early start as junior Ty Sager scored an early goal in the 4th minute of the game. Shortly after, the momentum was all in the Flames' favor as they amassed 14 first-half shots. Early in the second half, the Flames got hot with goals from Oscar Gonzalez and Peter Becht. Northwestern made a late push in the back end of the second half, but ended up surrendering a 3rd goal to the Flames, losing 3-1. The story of the night was the shot total difference as Northwestern finished with 5 compared to UIC's 26. The men's soccer team played their next game against Michigan State away from home before coming back to Martin Stadium to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. And while those games are happening later this week, it's right now that we have a very special guest. Joining us, a senior from the women's basketball team, the one, the only, Pallas Kanayakpana. Pallas, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
first and foremost, how does it feel coming into your final season at Northwestern?
Firstly, I just have to thank God for the opportunity to be at Northwestern and the experience. I also want to thank the coaches, Coach McEwen, and my teammates have really been supportive, and they've really just showed me support and love over the years, and that's something you can't buy anywhere. It's really genuine.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say we're definitely grateful to have you around for one more season. Now, with all the young talent on the team, what advice do you give as someone who's seen it all as a Wildcat?
Well, I think the first thing is just to have commitment and remember that it is a team sport. So just take it one day at a time, focus on each day and not really dwell too much on the past. And I think you have to remember that there will be good days and there will be bad days, but concentrate on giving your best each and every day, and if you do that, you're always going to come out a winner.
Definitely a lot of great advice. I'm sure all your younger teammates are taking notes. And finally, there's a lot of excitement brewing. So what can we expect from this team this upcoming season?
I mean, we have a really strong, experienced core. I think with Amber, Scheid, Abby Wolf, Bree, Jordan Hamilton, Lindsay Pulliam coming back with us. I think we have a lot of experience, and we have a really fantastic freshman class with Courtney Shaw, Sydney Wood, Jess, and Veronica. So I'm pretty sure you can expect a lot of commitment, a lot of hard work, grit, and hopefully NCAA tournament.
Oh, wow. We love to hear it. Thank you so much for coming on the show again. If you want to see Palace in action, her team plays their first game on November 4th against the Lewis University Flyers. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Coming up, the Cats hit the road for some Big Ten volleyball, and we've got all the highlights. Stay tuned.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Well, Chris, on the top of the show, we talked about how it's Chocolate Cupcake Day today, but it's actually also National No Beer Day today. So what are you doing?
Okay, but did you know it's actually also National No Glasses Day? So what are you doing?
That's just not true.
It's not.
Yes.
You're right. But it is No Beer Day. That's a real thing. I looked it up. All right. Northwestern volleyball was red hot in non-conference play, finishing with a 10-2 record. But then they ran into the Big Ten, by far the best conference in NCAA volleyball. The Cats were still looking for their first Big Ten win on the road against Wisconsin. Unfortunately, highlights were a little hard to come by for the Cats in this one. That's Nia Robinson on the kill. She was a highlight, led the Cats with 11 kills, but we're going to see the next play. Wisconsin's Grace Loberg slams it down right there, and that's about how it went for the Cats in this one. You got to give it up for the sidelines, though. They had energy, and the Cats, they didn't go down without a fight. Credit to them. That's Britt Bomber with the dump. Freshman Ella Gerbach is going to come in right there with the block. She had 7 kills as well. Good day for her. And we got Nia Robinson again. 1 more kill. We got to show her again. But when all was said and done, Northwestern wouldn't even take a set, and they fell to 8th-ranked Wisconsin. And it just got tougher for the Cats as they tried to snap the streak against the 3rd-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. Opening set, Britt Balmer sets it up perfectly for Alana Walker, who spikes it down and causes a Minnesota error. After the Cats drop the first set, we jump ahead to the second. Britt Balmer with the set right here. Once again to Nia Robinson for the kill. Cats would lose that set too, unfortunately, so we move to the 3rd. And Britt Balmer on the serve is gonna knuckle it in with the ace, gets the point, but at the end of the day, wouldn't be enough as Minnesota's Stephanie Samedi is gonna find the open court and gets the game-clinching kill, and the Cats stay winless against Big Ten opponents.
The women's volleyball team can definitely send a ball flying, but a team that would give them a run for their money is the Northwestern men's golf team. Participating in the Chatham Hills Collegiate, the Cats had a record-setting performance, finishing only 2nd to champion Purdue by 2 strokes. David Niffiel had a particularly memorable performance. In only his 3rd collegiate event, he earned his first individual championship with an 11-under performance. 3 Cats also played their way into a top 15 placing, led by Eric McIntosh's career-best 6th-place finish, as well as junior Everton Hawkins, who placed 12th. The Northwestern men's golf team have their next competition in the UNCG Grand Over Collegiate.
Women's fencing began their season last weekend at the October North American Cup in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. No Wildcats took home medals, but first-year Julia Felinska finished 17th in women's épée, while last year's standout, sophomore Sarah Philby, finished 34th out of more than 150 in women's foil. The fencing team will look to continue defending last year's Midwest Fencing Conference title at the Remniak Open this weekend, right here in Evanston.
And while the Chicago Marathon already happened, some Cats just can't stop running. The Northwestern women's cross-country team participated in the NCAA pre-nationals meet in Madison, Wisconsin. Junior Aubrey Roberts put forth an admirable display, racing her way to 3rd place. Sarah Nicholson and Ciel Kearney also had great performances. Both Cats set personal bests, and their efforts were rewarded in top 100 finishes. Overall, the Cats ended up in 15th place out of 35 teams. The Cats return to action when they travel to compete in the Big Ten Championships on Sunday.
Coming up, it's everyone's favorite. It's Plays of the Week. It's next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to the show. Now, Abriel, this is the segment where I'd planned to be like, you know, we're out of national days. Let's just get right into the plays of the week. But I looked some up, and there are actually a couple more national days today. One big one that I really want to focus on. It is National Thank Your Bosses Day. So I just got to give a shout out. Evan Denton, Ryan Coleman, Emma Ruby, Ben Boken. You guys are awesome. They're our EPs. Evan's our sports director. We love him. Couldn't do the show without him. And yeah, so on this National Thank Your Bosses Day, just wanted to take a little time and give him some shout outs, show him some love.
Chris, what a suck up you are. I would never do that except for Evan. Evan, have you ever seen Evan and Jay Adonde in the same room?
I haven't. Are they the same person?
I don't know.
We don't know. It could be. It's like me and Batman, right? We could be the same person.
You and Robin.
It's all right. Take those glasses off.
Okay.
All right.
What we do have is Plays of the Week coming up.
Number 3, and we already saw this one. Martinez evades Samduk Miller, throws it up just for J.A. Pace to pick it off. It would set up our number 1 play of the week coming up in a minute.
At number 2, a penalty kick for Indiana. Can Northwestern make a save? Mackenzie Wood is a hero. Get that ball out of there.
And coming in at number 1, you guessed it, Drew Luckenbaugh splits the uprights with a beautiful 37-yard kick. He earned Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week for that one. Absolutely great story.
Thank you so much for watching the show. I've been Avril Sirigar, with me Chris Burton. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook on NNN Sports. We'll see you all next Thursday.